And welcome up here to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the C1 tile about to get underway between the number 3 Auburn Bulldogs going up against the number 5 seed, the Wahoo Warriors. I'm Wilson Dittman alongside my partner, as always, Mason Steinhoff. Mason, how are you today?
Doing pretty good, Wilson.
Yeah, we just saw a really good game there, the D1 title. Very, very close ball game. We're hoping we see something very similar here in this one. And again, two teams who had a couple upsets to get to this point. Let's just start it off talking about Auburn, number 3 seed in this tournament. They are very veteran experienced. This is their 6th time in a row being in this state title game. They beat DC West 52-50 in the first round and then beat Ashland Greenwood basically pretty bad by 11 yesterday night in a very surprising outcome to be right back to where they're used to being. Then when we get to Wahoo, they're led by their leader, Marcus Glock, one of the studs on this team, Mason.
Yeah, Marcus Glock, probably the best shooter from the free throw line and from beyond the arc on this team. Also a guy to look out for Wahoo, Dylan Simmons, a guy you can't brush off based on what he's delivered for Wahoo. He's great in, assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks, and those features in the game of basketball.
Yeah, we talked about the Warriors squad. They won by 14 in the first round and then beat Concordia by 13. That was the number 1 seed in this tournament. So 2 upsets there, and now they're at the state title game, ready to get things underway, trying to pull another upset to beat Auburn. So both teams taking the floor here, getting ready for warm-ups. We see Auburn as the home team in their all-white, just a little bit of a black trim. And then Wahoo now taking the floor as well in the all-blues, very clean. A little bit of yellow in there. Let's check out the crowd for both teams, starting off with the student sections. We see a blackout for both squads here. All black for the Auburn fans along with the Wahoo fans. That seems like a common theme for these state title appearances. We saw that a lot last week along with yesterday night. And I know Millard South did that when their girls won state last year. We all wore black, so very common theme here. As for the depth in these student sections, Auburn, say about 5 rows deep. Very nice, very nice. Wahoo a little bit deeper. We'd say about 7 or 8 rows, so good job there from Wahoo. As for the overall crowd, yeah, pretty full here. Again, still people packing in, and expect to see a full crowd basically the entire day here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. A lot more basketball to be played, but this one is going to be super phenomenal here on Millard South Media. It might be one of the better games we see all day long, so you're going to want to tune in. So we're going to take a very quick break with you. We'll have a timer on the screen, and we'll be back to announce the starting lineups. And welcome back to Millard South Media. About to get underway here at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Class C1 final. And right now they're going through the light show, which apparently they're going to do for every single game today. Looks pretty cool. Again, they've been doing this for state wrestling in the past, now bringing it to state basketball. Showing a hype video on the screen, and promoting both Auburn and Wahoo. Getting ready to get this thing going. So again, just going over the hype video, then they're going to announce the starting lineups for both squads. They just show both teams there on the screen. Looks like Auburn might have got a little bit of a louder applause there, Mason.
Yeah, very interesting.
But as for the crowd, again, both teams really packing in here. I'd actually say there's more Wahoo fans, but again, both teams well represented. So here we go. They're going to start off with the bench for Wahoo as the visiting team. Then they'll go to the bench for Auburn, and then they will announce the starting lineups for both squads here tonight. Waiting for the PA announcer to get this one ready. And here we go. So the Class C1 final, following up the D1 final just a little bit ago, here on a beautiful morning in Lincoln, Nebraska. And just a reminder, we have all the games today, not just the C1 final, but we have Class B up next, Class C2, and then the big one, Class A tonight. You're not going to want to miss that one.
Yeah, for sure. Just a packed slate.
All right. So they're going to start off with the Wahoo bench. Wahoo in their all blues today as the visiting team. The Warriors enter this game 22-5. Good solid season, pulled 2 upsets to be in this basketball game. We talk about Wahoo just as a squad. One of the better programs all time in the state of Nebraska. 11 total titles, and a lot of those coming in the 90s. They had a dynasty going, but has not had one in a little while. Last one was in 2017. So a little bit more than 5 years. So they're going through the Wahoo bench. And their fans in a blackout, their student section at least. So now they'll go over Auburn. Auburn, the number 3 seed in this tournament, sitting at 28-0, has not lost a basketball game, coming off of a state title last year. This is a strong starting lineup. They really like to use their depth as well. They do it in a multitude of ways. Auburn wearing their all whites today as the home team. A little bit of a black trim. All right, so they go through the bench for both teams, and now let's start off with the official starting lineups. Getting things going with Wahoo first. The star guard Marcus Glock up first. Up next, number 3, Kyler Elliott. Now number 5, Cody Hesser. Up next, Dylan Simons. And last but certainly not least, number 23, Eli Shada. And the Warriors are head coached by Kevin Sheaf. And they're looking to get a big upset today to get back to where the promised land is, a C1 state title. So now it's time for the starting lineup of the undefeated Auburn Bulldogs. Starting off with number 1, Brandon Wetzel. Now number 2, Cameron Lebsey. Number 3, Maverick Binder up next. Now number 5, Peyton Bowden. And last but not least, rounding out the starting lineup, the big man, Nixon Ligori. And they are head coached by Jim Weeks. So both teams now on the court getting ready to shake each other's hands on the midline. Both teams meet at that Husker logo, getting ready for this battle, which will crown the C1 state title winner. Here we go. So both teams huddling up with their head coaches, getting ready to talk this one over and start off this ball game. We talk about Wahoo, very closely located to Lincoln, only a couple short drives away, and then we talk about Auburn, located basically the bottom of the state of Nebraska, the southeast region, but their fans also made the trip over here.
Auburn at the bottom of the map there, but they're looking to come out on top in a basketball matchup today.
So here we go, both teams taking the floor, getting ready for the tip-off. Crowd already getting loud here. Again, it's a nice atmosphere. So let's start things off. Leslie will do tip-off duties for Auburn. On the other side, Hesser will do it for Wahoo. They throw it up. Hesser wins a tip, and Wahoo will start off this ball game. Elliott brings it down the floor, number 3 for Wahoo. Serving, now gets it over to Hesser on the right wing. Throws it over to Shatta now in the corner. Shatta trying to get it to Elliott inside. Pump fake layup, no good. Rebounded by Auburn. Wetzel bringing it the other way. He gives it over to Binder, who brings it across the timeline. Binder guarded closely by Simons. Now at the top of the key. Kicks it over to Ligori. Ligori on the left wing. Tough pass over the corner. Three-pointer away from Auburn. Got it to go. That was Peyton Bowden who connects for the triple. So Wahoo now trying to get a bucket of their own. Simons gives it over to Glock at the top of the key. Drives inside, now kicks it over to Simons. Three-pointer from the corner. Got it as well. Back-to-back triples to start off this championship match. Full court press look here from the Warriors trying to trap Auburn. Binder brings it across the timeline, gives it over to Ligori on the right wing. Back over to Binder. Binder guarded closely by Glock. Now kicks it back to the corner. Ball move all around the perimeter. Now he gets to the top of the key. Ligori trying to drive inside. Picks up his dribble. Kicks it over back to the top of the key. And Auburn's going to have to reset. Reminder, there is no shot clock in C1 basketball. And they can just hold to get one look. Not under any time crunch. So Wetzel now has it. Trying to work his way inside. Kicks it over the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way from Binder. No good. Both teams fighting for the board. It'll go out of bounds, and it will stay with Auburn. There were about 3 Warriors who jumped up for the basketball, and they were just fighting for it. Didn't really call for the ball or anything, and because of it, it'll stay with the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs to inbound under their own basket. Tough pass over, and it's taken away by Wahoo. Now fast break. Binder gives it over to Bowden. He drives inside. Tough layup, got to go. Peyton Bowden with the bucket. Now Auburn on the other end. Elliott gives it over to Brigham. Now back to Elliott. Brings it across the timeline. Slowing things down right now for the Bulldogs. Down by 2 points early in this ball game. Elliott has it on the right wing. Gives it now over to the top of the key to Hesser. Hesser now to Wetzel. Back to the perimeter. Again, they're just going to slow things down. Excuse me, Binder now has it. Being double teamed. Wahoo's trying to take it away. They kick it over to the left corner. Now to the top of the key. Auburn just really taking their time. They have no intention of really taking a shot here. So Binder's going to reset for them. Now they give it over to Leslie in the corner. Leslie over to Wetzel. Wetzel trying to drive inside. Tough layup. Fouled on the way up. Oh, excuse me. They're going to say there's a foul on the floor before the shot. So it's going to stay with Auburn. Down by 2, and there's a couple of substitutions made early here by the Wahoo Warriors.
Both teams right out of the gates trying to steal that contest for momentum.
So Auburn inbounds it over to Wetzel at the top of the key. He gives it over to Binder. Binder right back on the Husker logo, setting up the offense, calling out a play, now working baseline, trying to back down his man. Now kicks it back over to the left wing. That's Ligori. Now back to the top of the key. Binder, Maverick Binder. Working hard, now kicks it back to the corner. Auburn, this is their offense. They're very patient. Ligori backing his way down, loses the basketball, gets it right back. Ball is free, and it's taken away by Marcus Glock of Wahoo. He pushes the pace, gives over to Kaminsky. Layup on the way, got to go. Jace Kaminsky coming right off the bench, and he hits the bucket. Now Wahoo's trapping Auburn across the midline. The Bulldogs get across no problem. And never mind. It looked like they got a foot across, but they called the 8-second violation. It was close. Kind of lackadaisical by Auburn. They were right at the midline, really had no intention of going over, though. They thought they had plenty of time. So Wahoo now takes over, up by 4 points. Kaminsky has it. He'll bring it across the timeline, up by 4. Gives it over to Brigham, now on the left wing, now to Marcus Glock. Marcus Glock trying to drive inside. There's going to be a foul called on the floor on Brendan Wetzel of Auburn. And there's going to be a media timeout. So in these state title games, under 5 minutes in the first and third quarter, the media takes a quick timeout. And we do not blame them. So we're going to keep it right here during this timeout. It's kind of been a back-and-forth ball game. Both teams shooting pretty well from the field. Wahoo only missed one shot. Auburn only missing one shot as well, but only 2 shots from the field. They're a lot more patient offensively.
So Bowden for Auburn, he has 3 points. On Wahoo's side, Simons has 3 points. That was when they traded off those 3-pointers early on in this matchup.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see Auburn's offensive philosophy the rest of this ball game. Very patient, about as patient as it gets. One of those teams that's going to struggle next year when the shot clock is implemented. And they really just move that ball around and have about 1 minute per possession. That's the reason why they win ball games. They got credit to them. Both teams very veteran. They've been here before. Wahoo a little bit in the past more so than Auburn. Auburn obviously in their 6th straight C1 state title game. But Wahoo, one of those dynasties back in the 90s that was in this game about every single year. So coming off of the media timeout, Wahoo will inbound under their own basket. Already a little bit deep into the bench. Jace Kaminsky will inbound for them. Looking for Marcus Glock, throws it up to him on the left wing. Now he pulls a trigger on a long 3-pointer, got it to go. Marcus Glock's first bucket of the game comes in incredible fashion. Wahoo now pressing defensively on Auburn, double teaming, trying to force a steal, and Auburn gets across the midline. Ligori now gives it over to Binder. Binder spin move inside, has to kick it up, loses the ball, gets it right back. Ball's now going to go out of bounds, and it will be Wahoo basketball. So it looked like a pass from Wetzel hit the backboard. He got it right back, tried to make another pass, and it goes out.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird possession there for Auburn.
So Brigham across the timeline now for Wahoo. Gives it over to Laverly in the corner. Now to Simons. Simons to Marcus Glock at the top of the key. Ball movement all working all around the 3-point line. Now Brigham. Back to Simons. Simons loses dribble for a second, has to give it to Brigham. Now back to Kaminsky. Kaminsky, floater, rattles, no good, rebounded by Auburn. Binder will slowly bring it across the timeline. No press here by the Wahoo Warriors. Binder working all around the perimeter, gives it now to Leslie in the left corner. Over to Wetzel. Now in the right corner, back to Binder. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Board is everywhere, and it's rebounded by Wahoo. Warriors are trying to go quick. They lose the basketball, and there's a quick foul by Auburn. Or no, they're going to say there's a double dribble. So the Bulldogs will inbound. Gardner checking in this game for Auburn, the first substitution today for the Bulldogs. They'll give it to Binder now, working his way there on the perimeter. Now over to the corner. That is Ligori. Ligori guarded closely, trying to drive baseline. Throws to the other right corner. Now right wing. Pass up a good look from three. Taken away now by Wahoo. 1-0 break. Cody Hesser slams it home for the Warriors, and that gets a long ovation from the crowd, and that's going to force an Auburn timeout. Cody Hesser coming off a steal. Had broad daylight. He said, thank you very much. I'll take that to the house.
After that single three-pointer from Auburn, they've been pretty quiet. It's been all Wahoo late in this first quarter.
Unlike the Bulldogs here in this opening game, or excuse me, the state title game, obviously, as you see on the screen, Auburn undefeated and down by 9 points. And really, Auburn, again, we talked about it a little bit. They're a very patient offense. Wahoo doing a good job intercepting those passing lanes, forcing a couple turnovers, and that's why the score is what it is. So both teams retaking the floor. Wow, Auburn just rolled out the Bulldog mascot. And to say the least, that thing is trippy. My goodness, that's a little scary. I'm scared of that mascot. Wow, that they need to redo that mascot. It looks like they pulled that out of the closet from the 70s. All right, so both teams retaking the floor after the timeout by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are going to inbound. They're being double-teamed immediately. They bring it across the timeline. Bowden has it. He's trying to drive inside. Gives it now to Wetzel on the left wing. Wetzel trying to work his way around. Gives it now to Ligori. Guarded closely by Brigham. Now to Ligori to Wetzel. Wetzel on the left wing, working his way all around. Auburn just so slow offensively. It's worked to their favor most of the season, but they're not used to a defense like this Wahoo Warriors. So there's a foul on the floor. It'll be on the Warriors, but it's going to stay with the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs now to inbound under their own basket. They give it to Ligori on the right corner. Looking for somebody to pass to, just hands it back over now to Binder. Binder at the top of the key. Setting up the offense. Now maneuvering his way this paint. Spin move. Kicks it right corner. Three-pointer on the way from Auburn. No good off the front part of the rim. Rebounded by Marcus Glock of the Warriors. He'll bring it across the other end. Gives it now over to Hesser. Hesser now to Kaminsky on the left wing. Back to Hesser at the top of the key. He's trying to work his way inside. Being double-teamed. Now over to the right wing. Now back to Kaminsky. Kaminsky working on the left wing. Ball movement all around. Now Hesser will drive inside, pump fake, throws something up and loses the basketball. Taken away now by Auburn. They'll slow things down as they just walk across the timeline, down by 9. Maverick Binder has the basketball. He'll maneuver his way to the rack. Now has to kick it over the left wing. This time it's Wetzel inside the paint. They tried to feed Gardner inside, and Gardner just ran over a Warrior. So the basketball's going to go the other way. So Simons will inbound. Gives it now over to Marcus Glock. Only 3 points today for the star point guard. When it came in a heat check fashion, he hit a three-pointer from about 5 yards beyond the arc. He has on the right wing. Now another three-pointer for him. Got it to go amidst the competition. I mean, there was a guy right in his face, and Marcus Glock nails it. So Auburn down to a 12-point deficit. They bring it across the timeline quick. Wahoo's trying to trap them in a 2-3 zone. Now they'll reset, go back to a man-to-man. Maverick Binder. He now gives over the corner. That's Ligori. Ligori working now on that left wing. Kicks it over to Binder. Binder now throws it to the right wing. Back over to Binder now. You might think Auburn just might hold for one last look despite the fact they're down by 12. Auburn hit the first bucket in this game and has yet to score. Wahoo on a 15-0 run. So 20 seconds left in this ball game. Wahoo has a foul called on them. So inbound coming here for Auburn. A quick substitution. Leslie checking back in this game for Auburn for the big man, Nolan Gardner. So Bowden to inbound. He gives it over to Maverick Binder. He has it on the Husker logo. Crossover, working his way inside. Backing down a man now, has to kick it over to the top of the key. That's Wetzel. Wetzel maneuvering. Throws it to the right corner. Back to Wetzel. Being double teamed. Over to Ligori. Ligori trying to drive inside. Puts up a right-handed floater. Rattles no good. Ball goes out of bounds with .1 on the clock. It's going to be inbounded by Auburn. They just have to basically throw this up and see if they can get a tip in. I don't know if they have time to even do that. They put the big man back in the ballgame, Gardner, and I expect he'll be the one they try to throw it up to. So with .1 seconds, Auburn to inbound under their own basket. They throw it up at the top of the key, get a shot off. Ooh, almost goes in. I don't even know if he got it off anyways. And that'll be the end of the first quarter here on Millard South Media. The Wahoo Warriors 15-3 over the undefeated number 3 seed Auburn Bulldogs. Again, my name is Wilson Dittman, your play-by-play alongside my partner Mason Steinhoff. And Mason, what did you see out there?
Well, I think Wahoo's ball movement has really been on point so far. That's one thing that's really impressed me. You know, they're not just settling for the first shots they see. They're moving the ball around, probing the defense, and finding the open man. It's team basketball at its finest.
Yeah, Wahoo's just doing a good job distributing the basketball, like you said. And Auburn right now shooting 20% from the field. They've had a couple crucial turnovers as well with 6 there in that first period. That's something they got to clean up, and very uncharacteristic of this Auburn squad, something that we really wouldn't expect to see from them. And you look at Auburn, especially a lot of their results this season, they've been blowing out teams left and right, 20 points, 10 points, 30 points even in some of their biggest games. And they're averaging around 60 points per game. Again, this is so unlike them. The fact they only have 3 points, and that came in the first minute. They've been held silent ever since then. So credit to the Wahoo defense. Both teams retaking the floor here. Once again, Wahoo in the all-blue uniforms, very clean. Kind of retro, too. I really like Wahoo's uniforms. They played in the C1 football final as well. Really, really enjoyed Wahoo's uniforms. And once again, Auburn in their all-whites as the home team. So Auburn's going to inbound at the midline, down by 12 right now. Let's get this second quarter underway. Maverick Binder brings it across the timeline, now gives over to Ligori, working on that right wing, guarded closely by Simons. Now taken away by Wahoo on the steal, one-on-one fast break. Simons puts up a contested layup, no good. Second chance for Wahoo, gets their own board once again. Third chance, no good. Ball still up, fourth chance, gets their own board 5 times, and there is a foul called on the floor. And that's going to be a shooting foul, which is going to send number 23, Eli Shada, to the line for 2. So, again, they missed a layup. Offensive board, missed. Offensive board. And finally, they go to the line for 2. My goodness. First free throw for Shada is no good.
So Shadow yet to get on the scoreboard as he tries to make the second free throw.
So first one rolls out. Second one now on the way. Rolls home. Shooter's touch. Now Wahoo with that full court trap look. Worked a little bit successfully in that first period of action. Auburn gets across the timeline, and they're going to reset. Ligori has on the Husker logo, working on Simons. Now kicks it over to Binder, working at the top of the key. Binder on the left wing, crossover, working inside. Euro step, kicks over right corner, wide open three-pointer on the way, got it to go. Wide open 3 by Maverick Binder, and he connects. Or excuse me, that was Bowden with the 3. Now so Wahoo on the other end. Three-pointer from the left corner of their own. No good. Rebound by Marcus Glock. Second chance now for the Warriors. He's driving inside. Contested layup. Rolls no good. And Auburn comes down with the rebound. So Binder brings it across the timeline. Screen is set for him. Working his way back in the post. Euro step, and there's going to be a foul called on Simons. Grabbed him a little bit too much inside the paint. So Auburn will inbound into their own basket. 6 minutes, 40 left to go here in the first half of action. Wahoo leads by 10. Surveying, they fit it in to Brigham, who missed the layup, and Wahoo will take it the other way. Wahoo going quick. No good on the floater. They get the offensive board, though. Second chance now for the Warriors. Elliott crashing the glass. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Warriors. So Simons will inbound right now for Wahoo under their own basket. Surveying, looking for a man. Now has to throw up to the top of the key. That's Elliott. There's going to be a quick stoppage by the refs. I think they're going to call what looks like another foul on the floor. That'll be Auburn's second here in this period. So another inbound coming. Simons looking for anybody. Trying to fit it into Glock. He gets it to him there on the left wing. Working. Throws it over now to the corner. That's Hesser. They set a screen for Hesser. Now throws it now back to Glock on the left wing. Glock driving inside. Kicks it out to the top of the key. Now to the corner. Pass up a good look from three. And they'll reset. Simons. Now to Hesser. Back to Elliott at the top of the key. Now throws it over to Shada. Shada back to Simons. Simons working his way inside to Shada now at the top of the key. Pass up a good look once again. Wahoo just keeping this ball moving. Marcus Glock comes up with the basketball. Kicks over right corner. Another passed up three. So Marcus Glock has it once again. He'll drive inside. Tough floater. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Auburn. Nice defensive possession there by the Bulldogs. Binder will take it the other way. Spin move. And he is fouled on the way up. Maverick Binder doing a good job pushing the pace and forcing some contact. That'll go on Cody Hesser. That's his first for Wahoo. Quick stoppage as Maverick Binder ties his shoes, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Binder's first is home. When we talk about Binder, a guy who's averaging 17 points per game, along with 4 rebounds for this Bulldog squad. So first one was up and good for him. Wahoo fans trying to distract him on the second. It is up, and it is also in. Full court press look here from Auburn. First time we've seen this today from the Bulldogs. Simons will inbound, gets it over and out to Marcus Glock. Glock will walk across the timeline. He has it on the right wing. Now throws it over to Kaminsky. Kaminsky's getting up the offense, calling out a play. Throws it now over to Simons. Simons on the right wing, back over to Brigham. Back to Kaminsky. Ball moving all around. Marcus Glock now has it at the top of the key. Let's see what he does. Doesn't dribble. Now just throws it back to Kaminsky. Setting up a screen for him. Kaminsky driving inside. Right-handed layup off the glass. No good. Rebound by Auburn. Binder will bring it across the other A. 16-8. Binder has it at the top of the key. Will drive inside. Surveying. Now passes it to the right wing. That's his brother, Lance Binder, who's checking in for the first time today. Now Ligori has it guarded closely by Marcus Glock. Glock playing great defense. Ligori has to step out. He'll reset. Ligori still working his way inside. Now finally kicks it back over to Binder. Binder throws it over to Bowden. 3-point on the way. No good. Rebounded by the Warriors. Kaminsky pushing the pace for Wahoo. Up by 8. 4 minutes left to play here in this first half of action. He now throws it over to the corner. That's number 10, Phi. He's working his way in the post and puts up a bucket. Wahoo just very efficient with their offensive possessions. Very low-scoring game in general, however. Binder on the other end now, almost taken away by Wahoo. Ball is on the floor, and the Warriors get under it. Now going on a fast break, pushing the pace, taken away now by Auburn. So after all that, the Tigers are bringing it across the timeline. Maverick Binder has the basketball on the left wing. Guarded closely by Simons, working his way all around, now on the right wing. Pump fakes a three, they give it right back to him. Neal just reset. Crossover, working his way inside the post, Euro step, tough layup, got it to go. Maverick Binder, patience is key. He's already having a big game for Auburn. So Simons has it now on the Husker logo for Wahoo. Catching his breath, gives over now to Marcus Glock. Glock already at 6 points right now. Puts up a three-pointer from the left corner. No good off the back iron. Fighting for his own board, and Auburn gets under it. So once again, Maverick Binder will trot across the midline. Auburn is going right on the floor. Now he kicks it over to the left corner. Back to the left wing. Ligori has it. Pump fakes. Crossover. Working his way inside the post. Looking for somebody to kick it out to. Now over to the top of the key. Now to the right wing. Maverick Binder has it. Back to Ligori on the left wing. He'll reset. Three-pointer down the way from the right wing. Got it to go. Maverick Binder, after all that ball movement, finds a look that he likes, and he connects. So Auburn, who trailed by at most 12 points in this ball game, now has cut that Wahoo lead to only 5.
Auburn, a team that struggled with three-point shots earlier in the game, and now 43% from beyond the arc.
So again, quick timeout here by Auburn coming off of their three-pointer. Looking at the stats so far, both teams doing a good job, especially just efficiency-wise. Auburn shooting about 40%, Wahoo around that 35 marker. But really the storyline has been the turnovers forced by the Warriors. Auburn already has 8 turnovers in this first half of action, Wahoo only with 2. That's really why the score is what it is. Auburn's out shooting Wahoo. It's just the fact that Wahoo's been so good defensively, especially intercepting those passes and taking to the other end. Oh, my bad. So both teams will retake the floor. Wahoo will inbound. They have to go the full distance of the court. Up by 5 points, 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. They inbound over to Kaminsky. Now Hester will bring it across the timeline. Screen is set for him. He gives it now over to the right corner. That's Lavalley. Now has to throw up to the top of the key. Taken away by Auburn. They're not going on a fast break. A one-on-one. Leslie. Tough layup on the way. Got it to go. Cameron Leslie. So now Marcus Glock will trot across the midline. Auburn fans starting to get into it for the first time today. Glock has on the Husker logo over now to Jace Kaminsky. Now at the top of the key, that is Hesser. Throws it back to the right wing. Back to Hesser now in the right corner. Wants a screen set. He gives it now to Glock. Glock trying to work his way inside. For some contact. Puts up a tough layup. No foul is called. It's rebounded by Auburn. So now the Bulldogs with a chance to tie with a three-pointer here on this possession. 1 minute to play here in this first half. Binder kicks over left corner. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded by the Warriors. Ball is still free, however. It went right in the lap of Cody Hesser. It looks like he had it under control, but it might have hit his knee and it goes out of bounds. So Auburn will retain possession on their side of the court. They inbound it all the way over to Ligori on the left wing. He has at the top of the key now. Going all the way around the perimeter. Trying to drive inside, now kicks it over now to Maverick Binder. Binder guarded closely by Simons, working his way, dribbling the basketball, taking his time. Binder has 7 points here in this first half. Now he gives it over to Ligori, who has 0, but has been a key part of this offense all year. Auburn, you can tell from the body language, they're just going to hold this basketball for one last look. Shot clock is off, as it is the entire game, because there is no shot clock in C1 basketball. So here we go. 13 seconds left to go here in this first half. Maverick Binder has on the Husker logo, guarded by Marcus Glock. Crowd is on their feet. Maverick Binder now the top of the key. Long three-point on the way. Got it to go! Maverick Binder! Full court heave by Wahoo. No good, and that'll be the end of the half. Maverick Binder connects from a long three-pointer amidst the double team, and we are all knotted up at 18 apiece going into the second half of action. Wow.
Yeah, just the way you want to end the half if you're Auburn.
Auburn really proved that patience is a virtue. And they're about as patient as a team you'll see. Taking about 1 minute per possession. Maverick Binder holding that for about a minute until he just basically chucked up a heave and was all net for the point guard. He's having a great day today. So we're looking at the stats here. 10-0 run by Auburn over the last 3 minutes. Wahoo really on a scoring drought. As of late, that's not the way they want to enter this second half. When you look at the scoring by both teams, particularly Marcus Glock, he's the scoring leader like you'd expect for Wahoo with 6 points, but you'd probably want him to be a little bit more involved. As for Auburn, 10 points for Binder. He had the buzzer beater. And then Bowden with 6 and Leslie with 2. And that's really about it. Really, if Auburn can control their turnovers in the second half, Mason, you've got to think it'll be hard for Wahoo to get this victory.
Yeah, I mean the pace of this game, both teams are being really patient with the basketball. Really, the defense for both squads is really great right now. You know, they're helping each other out on the court and recovering from these setback plays, closing on these shooters, and they're making it really difficult for each other to find any open looks.
Absolutely. Really, really good game. Just like we expected pregame, Mason.
Yeah.
Again, undefeated Auburn versus a Wahoo team that's really got hot in the later part of the year, led by arguably the best player in the state of Nebraska, Marcus Glock. So we're going to take a quick break here for halftime. We'll put a timer on the screen. About 10 or so minutes until we are back with the second half of action. And quick reminder, we will be back with Class B also at 1 p.m., Class C2 at 4:15, the big one, Class A at 6:15 here on Millard South Media. I want to take this quick second to thank our sponsor there on the top left part of your screen, Erickson Searstrom, who provides you 55 years of legal excellence. If you want the best legal work in the city of Omaha and the state of Nebraska, please go over to Erickson Searstrom. But with that being said, we'll see you guys in about 10 or so minutes for the second half. And welcome back to this one. About a 1:30 until this second half gets underway, all knotted up at 18. If you're just joining us, Wahoo was up to a massive lead in that first half, at most 12 points, but Auburn just grinded their way back in this game, and Maverick Binder, star point guard for the Bulldogs, hit a massive buzzer beater to tie up this game going into the locker room, and we are right back here for the conclusion of this one. So 2 quarters left to play. A Class C1 champion will be crowned at the conclusion. Will it be Auburn trying to get their first since 2021? Their team has been in their 6th straight C1 state title but has lost the last 2. Or will it be Wahoo looking for their first since 2017, one of those blue blood teams here in the state of Nebraska? Wahoo in their all blues today as the away team. And then we look at Auburn in the all whites. Both student sections on a blackout. The crowds have both been very good. I will give a little bit more props to Auburn. I think they've been a little louder, and they did bring a mascot. If you have a mascot and you bring that to state, you get some automatic points in my book. So Auburn has checked off that box, which makes them the winner of this game when it comes to the fans.
Well, these last 2 days, the crowds have been
really good.
They've showed up. That's why they say there's no place like Nebraska.
That's true.
The communities of Nebraska, they care deeply about their sports.
At any level. So here we go. Both teams retaking the floor, getting ready for this third quarter action. Starting lineups now in. Kyler Elliott's going to inbound for Wahoo. Ref's not letting him go just yet. They're talking about something, just deliberating with the scoring officials. I think they're waiting for Nebraska Public Media, I would assume. And now they're getting ready to go. Refs give them the green light. They hand Elliott the basketball. He's going to inbound. Gives it over now to Simons, who will bring it across the timeline for Wahoo. The Warriors are going right on this court, left to right. Simons working his way inside. Tough pass. There's going to be a travel called on him.
Not an ideal way to start the half if you're Wahoo.
Yeah, to say the least. He's traveling in the paint. Sometimes, again, your eyes get ahead of your feet. So now Auburn bring across the floor with a chance to take the lead for the first time since the opening minute. Ligori gives it over to Maverick Binder, working on the left wing, guarded closely. Trying to work his way inside the post. Hop step. Now throws it over to the right corner. Ball is poked free. It'll be taken away by Wahoo. Husser, the other end, loses the basketball, and it's taken away now by Auburn. Wenzel trying to get inside the paint. Now has to kick it back to Ligori, who will reset. Ligori finds Maverick Binder on the Husker logo. Sets up the offense. Calls for a screen. Working now on the right wing. Calling for a man to set a screen for him once again. Now trying to work his way inside the post. Little nice feed over to Leslie, and he's fouled. So Leslie fouled on the way up. That's going to send him to the free throw line for 2. Cameron Leslie, guys, averaging about 8 points per game. Only a junior for this Auburn team. Misses the first free throw. That's one of those that he's going to want back. So first one, no good for Leslie. Second one now on the way, and that one is all net. Auburn takes the lead. Simons brings it across the timeline. Gives it over to the corner. Elliott passes up a good look from 3. Gives it now over to Simons. Now trying to feed Elliott, and Elliott has a foul called against or on him. Or go on Auburn guarding him. So Wahoo will inbound under their own basket. Simons Under the basket, looking for somebody. Throws it up to Marcus Glock under the paint. Left-handed layup, got it off the glass. Marcus Glock with a nice bucket there to retake the Warriors' lead. Now with a full court press, trying to trap Auburn across the midline. They did this successfully a couple times in the first half. Auburn just gets across in time. So Maverick Binder has the basketball, working at the top of the perimeter. Now gives over to Ligori. Ligori jab stepping. Switches on to Marcus Glock. Going all the way around the arc. Now working his way inside. Tough layup. Got it to fall. Ligori with a nice bucket. Both teams trading leads. Wahoo now on the other end. Glock has it on the left corner. Working inside. Loses the basketball. Taken away by the Bulldogs. And Maverick Binder will just slow things down for Auburn, up by 1 point. He has it now, working on top of the key once again. Spin move, working inside. Little backdoor feed to Leslie. Layup got it to go. And that is going to force a Wahoo timeout after Auburn has a strong start to the second half of action. Again, a really good start there from Auburn. Mason, what'd you see?
Well, Auburn, you know, they're shooting better now than they were. Excuse me. The offensive execution, I think it's coming together now. They're trying to find a rhythm and keep it going here. This half-court offense has been a thing of beauty so far, and you know, moving the ball really well so far.
Yeah, it took a little bit for this Bulldog offense to get going, but they're really starting to feed it some of their best players. And Binder really has led the charge, along with Leslie getting involved here in the second half. So Wahoo will inbound. They have to go the full length of the court here. 5 minutes 30 left to play here in the third quarter. Elliott to bring it across the timeline for the Warriors. Now Simons trying to feed Glock inside, and he is fouled immediately. Second he touches the basketball.
Two team fouls now for Auburn in the second half.
So Wahoo to inbound. They give it over to Hester on the left wing. Hester back to Glock. Glock at that same left wing. Back to Hester. Now to the right wing. Simons working inside. Picks up his dribble. Feeds it over now to Hester once again. Hester, ball move all around. Simons finds the ball once again, has on the right wing, feeding Glock inside, backing down his man, tough layup off the glass, no good. Binder brings it down the other way. Driving baseline, tough layup for him, and one for Maverick Binder. And ever since that slow first quarter, he's been a man to be reckoned with.
Auburn really wanting to extend their lead. They're trying to pull away here.
Maverick Binder at the line, shooting one.
So Binder trying to complete the and one. Makes the free throw. Wahoo now down by their biggest deficit today. 6 points, will inbound off a couple substitutions. Kaminsky will bring it across the floor, who just checked in this ballgame, the sixth man for this Warrior squad. They give it over to the corner, Simons. Simons directing traffic, looking for somebody. There's going to be a foul called on the Bulldogs. So Kaminsky will inbound once again under his own basket. Looking for somebody, now throws it up to Brigham. Brigham passes over, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. And there's going to be a foul on the floor that'll go on Wahoo. one's really slipping out of the Warriors' hands. It looked like they were in firm control of this ball game. There's going to be a media timeout. Auburn on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Wahoo just really hasn't got anything going besides Marcus Glock. And we've seen this time and time again. You can have a star player carry you to the championship game, but that ends right there. In the title game, you got to have somebody else contribute. And right now, they haven't found that guy right now for the Warriors. And oftentimes, when you're in a title game with everything on the line, the team that distributes the basketball and has the most players involved will be the winner. And that's right now why Auburn leads by 6.
And Auburn shooting 56% from the field compared to Wahoo, who's only shooting 32%.
And what was really a big issue early in this ball game was Auburn's turnovers. They've cleaned that up. Only one here in this, on the last couple minutes. And we talk about Wahoo, they're already up to 6. There's been a lot more as of recent. It's now Wahoo at the free throw line, or excuse me, Auburn to inbound off of the Wahoo foul. Wetzel brings it across the timeline, now over to Maverick Binder. Binder surveying, finds Leslie on the right wing, now back over to Ligori. Ligori being double teamed, seeing this for the first time today. Wahoo is running a 2-3 zone. Auburn's a little bit confused, distributing the ball all around the perimeter. Ligori now has on the left wing, being trapped. Over to Leslie, now to Binder. Now in the corner, being doubled. Has to get rid of this ball, just throws it up. And it's corralled by Binder. So they reset. Now 3-point on the way from the left wing. No good. Fighting for the board. Wahoo gets under it. And they're going to call a foul on the Bulldogs. So once again, Wahoo will have an inbound coming. It's been a slow second half. And a lot of times, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. The best thing the NSA has done as of recent is implementing a shot clock for Class B and then Class A. And thank goodness they're going to have one for everybody else next year. Because, again, the game just moves a lot more slower. Teams often don't have as much offensive prowess because they can just take their time. Now Wahoo has the basketball, driving inside. They kick it over to the left corner. Passes up a good look from 3, now to the left wing. Now they find Hezer. Over to Glock on the right wing. 3-point on the way for him. No good off the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Auburn. So Auburn slowly trots across the Husker logo, up by 6 points. Try to feed it over the left wing. Again, Wahoo is trying to trap every single player who touches this basketball. Have not had any success forcing a steal so far. They throw it to the right wing. Now tough pass over to the rack. And there's going to be a clear foul on Wahoo. Nice little pump fake by Peyton Bowden inside the paint. And Kaminsky just jumped up and hit basically his shoes.
Looked like he kneed him.
Yeah,
almost.
to the chest of Bowden, which is going to cause an inbound coming. So Auburn's offense causing Wahoo some fits. Both teams at 4 fouls apiece. Auburn will now inbound on the right corner. Tough pass taken away by Wahoo. They need a score on this possession. Hesser brings it across the timeline at the top of the key. Trying to feed Glock. He'll drive inside, finds a lane, and wide open layup for Marcus Glock. He's up to 10 points tonight. So once again, Wahoo trying to trap Auburn on offense. They throw it over to the right corner, now almost taken away. They feed Leslie inside, backing down his man. And Wahoo looks like they're going to force a jump ball. Let's see what the refs call. And they are indeed going to call a jump ball, but it will stay with the Bulldogs. The possession error was with them. So Auburn will inbound under their own hoop. Surveying, looking for a man, now finds it in the right corner. That's Ligorski. Now over to Binder. He throws it up to Wetzel. Wetzel being double teamed. Back to Binder. Working all the way around the paint. Now Ligori drives inside. Blocked by Wahoo. Ball is free. I think they're going to call another tie-up. Somehow Auburn gets under and there's a foul called on the Warriors. What looked like a clear tie-up. Somehow just Auburn got it with the man on his feet. And which is going to send now Auburn to the bonus. And 2 shots are coming.
Wahoo's kind of struggled here of getting these defensive rebounds. They had plenty of guys in the paint to get the rebound. It's just Auburn came out on top with the winning the battle there.
First one for Leslie is up and good. Auburn been relatively successful at the free throw line today, over 80%. Second one now for Leslie, up and good as well. Back to a 6-point lead for the Auburn Bulldogs, looking for their 3rd state title in 6 years. Marcus Glock across the timeline for Wahoo, gives over to Jace Kaminsky. Now Simons on the right wing, has a screen set for him. Now has to give it back over to left wing. Back to Simons at the top of the key, driving inside, back to the left wing. Trying to feed a man inside, layup on the way, got it to go. Kyler Elliott with a nice cut inside. He connects with a small little floater. And there's going to be a foul called on Wahoo as Auburn was bringing across the timeline. Cody Hesser looks like he clipped the back of the head of Maverick Binder, and that's a huge mistake. That's going to send Auburn to the line. So excuse me, Brendan Wetzel will go to the charity stripe for 2. 2 shots for Auburn. First one up and all nets. So first one was all courts. Second one now on the way is in. 6-point lead for Auburn. Elliott brings it across the timeline. Gives it over now to Simons on the right wing. Simons working. Spin move. Kicks it back out to the mid-range. Now they'll just reset. Wahoo down by 6 points. Simon, crossover. Now has to kick it over to Marcus Glock. Also with the crossover. Kicks it back to the left wing. Wahoo just taking their time. Hesser. Back to Simons. Pass up a good look from 3. Dribbling inside the paint. Maneuvering in. Puts up a layup to go. 30 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Auburn with the basketball. They get across the timeline. Tough pass. They're lucky to save it. And Binder's going to reset and just take this last shot. He hit a buzzer beater at the end of the second quarter. Looking to do something very similar here. Maverick Binder. Gives it over to Ligori, back to Binder on the Husker logo. 7 seconds, long three-pointer, all net for Maverick Binder. Wahoo trying to go quick, throws up a long three-pointer.
He had a chance there to pass it to someone, but.
Yeah, there was about 3 seconds left, and Glock threw a full court heave. He could have just, extended that ball a little further, but throws it up. The buzzer will expire, and that will be the end of the third quarter with Auburn leading by 7 over Wahoo. Their biggest lead today. And once again, Maverick Binder with 2 buzzer beaters at the end of the second and third quarters. So we're going to take a quick break here on Millard South Media, and we will be back for the fourth. And welcome back to this one. About to get underway here for the fourth quarter. Wahoo down by 7. Their student section trying to give them a little bit of energy. And really, it's going to come down to if they can find somebody else but Marcus Glock to hit a big shot. Right now, it's really been the Maverick Binder show for the Auburn Bulldogs with 16 points, 2 buzzer beaters, shooting over 60% from the field. So Wahoo will inbound at the midline. Once again, down by 7. Kyler Elliott will be the one to inbound it. Gives it over to Simons, who brings it across the timeline on the Husker logo. Wahoo is going right to left here on the floor. Simons working his way inside now. Tough layup. Got it to no good. Almost looked like it was going to fall. But off of an Auburn Bulldog, it will stay with Wahoo. So Simons now to inbound. Scanning, looking for anybody. Now throws up to the top of the key. Wahoo will reset. Elliott gives it now to Glock on the left wing. He will try to work his way inside. A quick foul by Ligori.
Auburn foul number 24. Mason Ligori, his second personal foul. Team first of the quarter.
It's another inbound coming for Wahoo. They get it into Marcus Glock on the left corner. He'll try to work his way inside. Finds a crease and one for Marcus Glock. Finally, we've been waiting for him to take over this ball game, and he hits a big bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more.
Cam Wesley, his second personal foul. Team second of the quarter. Marcus Glock at the line, shooting 1.
So Marcus Glock with the and one, trying to convert with one free throw, and it is no good off the front part of the iron. 5-point game, Auburn leads. Wahoo trying to trap them across the midline, being physical defensively. Auburn gets across in time, gives it over Ligori on the right wing. Once again, double teaming him the second he touches the basketball. Now going back to a man-to-man. Glock almost forcing a steal, and he does. Simons the other way. He's uncontested. Easy layup for Dylan Simons. The Wahoo crowd now starting to get into it. Binder being trapped, has to throw it up, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. So Auburn will inbound. That was only Wahoo's first here in this fourth quarter. And they give it over to Binder. So Binder across the timeline. Has a screen set for him, working his way all around, crossover. Now gets in the mid-range, trying to feed a man inside, and it's taken away by Simons. He'll go the other end for Wahoo, and he'll be fouled. So Simons right around that three-point line, just fouled, trying to drive in. And Wahoo with an inbound coming. Seems like they have all momentum, Mason. So Cody Hester will inbound for the Warriors. Gets it into Marcus Glock on the right wing. He'll patiently bring down the basketball. Setting up an offense, calling for a screen. Switches on to Wetzel. Now we'll drive in on him. Kicks over the left corner. Mid-range J on the way. Rattles no good. Auburn now on a 2-on-2. Crashing the glass. Leslie kicks over to Wetzel. Three-pointer from the left wing. No good. Rebound by Marcus Glock. Now Wahoo going quick. He fits it into Simons, loses the basketball, gets it over to a man somehow. No good. Simons with the board. Second chance on the way. Got it. Dylan Simons, and that pumps him up. Wahoo on a run of their own. Auburn brings across the timeline. And Binder will slow things down, up by 1 point. Driving his way inside. Hop steps over the right corner. Pass up a good look from 3. Auburn just content letting this clock run. See if they can find a good look. Wahoo with a nice job defensively here. Binder now working inside. Spin move. Tough mid-range J. No good off the iron. Rebounded by Wahoo. Marcus Glock will bring across the other end with a chance to take the lead. He has on the left wing, maneuvering his way inside, right-handed layup, got it, but they're going to call a foul before the shot went off. So that bucket goes off the board. Auburn still leads by 1, but an inbound coming. And Auburn up to 4 fouls already. That's something to note. They're 1 away from Wahoo getting in the bonus.
Still 5 minutes to play in this basketball game, a lot of time.
And because of that, Mason, they're going to take a timeout to talk this one over. What looked like maybe Auburn was really taking advantage and starting to pull away. They were up by 7 in about that third. Wahoo coming right back, led by their leader, Marcus Glock, but Dylan Simons with a couple of big plays as well.
And that has a lot to do with resilience. You know, Wahoo never wavered in their belief. They're executing under pressure right now.
You know, this is something we really saw in the first quarter when Wahoo led, was that they were really getting in those passing lanes, getting some interceptions, bringing them the other way. We didn't really see that as much, you know, in the late first, early second half, and now they're going right back to it, double teaming every single person who has the basketball, bring it the other way. So again, a timeout on the floor by Auburn. Both teams have 3 remaining. Wahoo will retake the floor, inbound coming down by 1. They have an opportunity to take the lead for the first time since the early third. Now Auburn will retake as well. Once again, if you're just joining us, been a back-and-forth ball game. Auburn led by as much as 7, though, in the second half. Auburn been working their way back. Now with a chance to take the lead. Inbound coming under their own basket. Kaminsky fits it in to Simons, and he's fouled immediately as he puts up a shot.
So Auburn now with 5 team fouls.
So many mistakes we've seen today from Auburn, and that one came at a bad time. So Simons, first free throw for him. No good off the back part of the iron. That is crucial. He's definitely going to want that one back. Second one now for him, rattles home. All knotted up at 33 apiece. And there's a foul immediately. The second Wetzel touched that basketball. So Hester to inbound. Wahoo trying to trap them across the midline. Triple teaming Wetzel. He has to get it. Had to get it across. He just throws it up, and there is collision on the court. They basically just heaved it up to Leslie, who caught some contact. The Wahoo student section very much alive here. Not so much from the Auburn section, but quite quiet.
The crowd trying to be a 6th man out there on the court.
So Binder has it. He gives over to Leslie, the top of the key now. Wetzel on the left wing, guarded closely by Wahoo. Trying to force a bad pass. Now has to give it back over to Binder. Binder being double teamed on the corner, has to throw it up to Wetzel. The ball goes back to the backcourt. They wanted it over the back, and they will. Torres took him a little bit of time to call that. They thought maybe Wahoo got a touch, but nope, they just threw it to the backcourt. So Wahoo, all knotted up at 33, will inbound with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in the second half. Simons throws it up to Elliott. Layup on the way, no good. Rebounded by Auburn. Binder will trot across the midline. He's been the man so far. 18 points for Auburn. He'll back his way down to the post. Now kicks it over to Wetzel on the right wing. He puts up a contested layup. That one's blocked by Simons, and he throws it off of him to go out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Simons blocked that basketball, and when Wetzel was on the ground, he threw it off of him, basically right on his chest.
A high IQ play.
Some would say a little bit dirty, though. I mean, he just threw it out of him. But whatever. I mean, Wahoo takes over. Marcus Glock has it at the top of the key. The star player, spin move, driving inside the right lane, lose the basketball. It'll stay with Wahoo. They say an Auburn player poked it free. Approximately 4 minutes left in this ball game. We just saw the replay. It looked like it might have actually went off of Wahoo, but it'll stay with them, however. Simons, tough pass over to him, and he loses the basketball. It'll be Auburn ball. So ball doesn't lie, Mason. Our fans who were disgruntled about that call get it after all. Maverick Binder across the Husker logo. Has on the right wing. Now driving baseline. Working his way inside. Kicks it over to the left corner. Now left wing. Three-pointer by Wetzel. No good. Rebounded by Wahoo. Both teams missed opportunities to really put their foothold on this game. Marcus Glock trying to drive inside. Pushes a man to the ground. There's a charge. That one was evident. And sometimes you're just trying to make a play there. You get a little ahead of yourself. And that's exactly what happened there with Marcus Glock. So Wahoo, as Auburn brought it across the timeline, fouled him. It's going to send Auburn to the free throw line. They're now in the bonus.
Yeah, that was a little questionable there.
Not a great foul. So that's going to send Wetzel to the free throw line. You take the lead. First one up in all net. Wetzel been a nice point guard today. Up to 2 points with that free throw. Second one on the way as well. That one also goes in. 2-point lead for Auburn. Elliott brings it across the timeline over to Simons now at the top of the key. Setting up the offense. Has a screen call for him. Backing his way down the post. Drops him in. And there's going to be a blocking foul on Auburn. So just like that, Auburn went to the free throw line for two because they're in the bonus. And now Wahoo will do the exact same thing. Dylan Simons with an opportunity to tie up this game with two made free throws. First one for him. On the way, and it's in. Simons, 12 points today. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Second one now for him. Also in. We're all tied up once again. Auburn to inbound. Wahoo with a full court press trying to trap Binder. Binder has to throw it over to Wetzel. Wetzel will bring it across the timeline, throws over to Ligori. Ligori on the right wing working on Marcus Glock. Has to throw it back to Binder. They'll double team him. And Auburn just distributing the basketball all around the arc. Now they have it at the top of the key. Driving inside. Layup got it to go. That was number 5, Peyton Bowden. Wahoo now on the other end. Kaminsky gives it over to Hester at the top of the key. Hester over to Marcus Glock. He'll slow things down. Calling for a screen. On the left wing. Long three-pointer on the way. Bang! Marcus Glock gives Wahoo the lead, and a timeout is called by the Bulldogs.
That's one player who has been really impressive tonight. He's not just scoring, he's doing it efficiently, taking those high percentage shots.
We knew how good he was going into this game. We thought maybe Auburn could slow him down. They've had no success. And Marcus Glock with a long three-pointer from the left wing. Nylon hits nothing but the rim, or excuse me, nothing but the net. And Wahoo now officially with their first lead here in the second half. I will say this. The fans for Wahoo have been into it this entire second half, been loud, the student section doing a chant with the parent section. And we look at Auburn, it's been quiet. Not only their student section, but their fans. We know Wahoo trying to support their boys, give them as much energy as possible. Auburn now trailing by one will inbound. They have to go the entire ways of the court. They're being trapped by Wahoo, double teamed. Wetzel finding somebody to pass to. Now gets it over the timeline to Ligori. Now kicks it over to the corner, back over to Wetzel. Now to Binder. Binder back to Ligori. Now to Wetzel in the corner. Directing traffic, trying to find something. Backing down his man, now gives it back to the three-point line. Back to Wetzel. 2 minutes left to play in this ball game. Now Bowden has the basketball. Back to Wetzel, right wing, being double-teamed, working his way inside. Tries to get into Bowden, loses the pass for a second, gets it right back, bonding his way inside. Pump fake, layup on the way, no good. Rebound by Auburn, second chance on the way, no good. And this time, Wahoo comes down with the board, and a foul is called on the Bulldogs. So that is going to send Dylan Simons, who came down with the defensive board, all the way to the opposing side of the court for 2 free throws, Mason.
Dylan Simons at the line, shooting 2.
2 free throws for Dylan Simon. First one on the way, no good off the front part of the iron. Man, you got to hit those.
Wahoo struggled at the line all game long. Now 4 for 8 as a team.
Compare that to Auburn shooting over 90%. Second chance for Simons, that one falls. 2-point lead for Wahoo. Wetzel will bring it across the floor. Binder has it on the left wing. Now going all the way around the perimeter. Now to the right wing, 1 minute 30, setting up the offense. Gives it over Ligori at the top of the key. He's trying to drive inside, has to kick it over to Wetzel on the left wing. Wetzel working his way around the mid-range. Back over to Binder now. Binder has hit big shot after big shot. Can he do it once again? Now at the top of the key, guarded closely by Kaminsky of Wahoo. Binder switched on to Hesser. Spin move, trying to drive inside. Now kicks it back to Wetzel. 1 minute left to play in this ball game. Ligori has it for the Bulldogs. He'll maneuver his way to the paint. Tough layup, no good off the glass. Second chance. Leslie has it for Auburn. He puts it up. That one falls. And once again, we're tied up at 39. So reminder, shot clock does not roll in Class C1 basketball. They can hold for one last look here with about 40 seconds remaining. Looks like that is what they are going to do. Marcus Glock has on the Husker logo. Gives it over to Kyler Elliott. Everybody on their feet in the arena. Back to Marcus Glock on the Husker logo. 25 seconds now. Nobody is moving on the court. They know what's going to happen. Wahoo will wait for one last shot. You've got to think it will be the man to take this, Marcus Glock. 10 seconds. The clock is rolling, all tied up at 39. A state title on the line. Marcus Glock has on the right wing. Putting up a long three-pointer on the way. No good. Wahoo fighting for the board. Second chance at the buzzer. No good as well. And we will have overtime basketball. Woo! My goodness.
That's one way to electrify this crowd right there.
Marcus Glock had a setback three-pointer 5 feet behind the arc, and it almost went in. Wahoo comes down with their own board. They thought, oh, maybe that second chance would fall in. No good as well. Auburn with a strong defensive presence. So we will have some more basketball to be played. So 5 minutes on the clock, or excuse me, 4 minutes on the clock. Usually every period is 8 minutes. They cut that in half for overtime. You know, that's the way we have to do this here on Millard South Media when we have an overtime basketball game. Oh, man, it's exciting. So both teams retaking the floor, getting ready for overtime basketball. Marcus Glock had an opportunity to be the hero for the Warriors, but again, missed that buzzer beater. So here we go. Tip off coming at the center court. Cody Hesser will do the job for Wahoo. Leslie on the other end for Auburn, and Auburn will win the tip. So Binder has it on the right wing. He has 16 points today, but has went cold in that fourth quarter. Working his way inside, now kicks over the right corner. Three-pointer on the way by Leslie. No good, rebounded by the Warriors. Marcus Glock will trot across the midline. He has on the right wing. And out the top of the key. Tough mid-range jam on the way. No good, rattles out. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Both teams, you can tell, are gassed. Binder just slowly bringing it across. No full court press look from Wahoo. Binder now driving inside. Picks up his dribble. Has to kick it back to the right wing. Three-pointer on the way. No good as well. Both teams have went completely cold. Rebound by Marcus Glock. He's up to 5 boards today. He has on the right wing. He'll drive baseline. Trying to get to the hoop. Tough layup. Got to fall. Marcus Glock. Oh, he falls on the floor. He ran into his own man. Auburn trying to take advantage of that. Going quick. Ligori has on the right wing. Now he's driving baseline. Spin move. Tough layup on the way. No good. Rebound by the Warriors.
Wahoo's going to try to eat up some of this clock now.
Daggin, no shot clock. You're up by 2 points. Marcus Glock has it. Guess who? He has it on the right wing. Screen is set for him now at the top of the key. Crossover. Kicks it over left wing. Now to Hesser on that baseline and has to give it back to Kaminsky on the left wing. A little back and forth action all around the perimeter. There's going to be a foul called on Auburn. So a reminder that fouls from the fourth quarter transfer over to overtime. Both teams are in the bonus. So that is going to send Wahoo to the free throw line. That's going to be number 5, Cody Hesser. So if he makes both these free throws, Wahoo's up to a 2-possession lead here in overtime. First one for Hesser. It is up, and it is an air ball. Ooh, that's a bad miss. And he's consoled a little bit by his teammates. Wow. First one, no good. Second one for Hesser on the way. That one no good as well. Missed opportunity there from Wahoo. Binder brings it across the timeline. They are going left here on the court. Binder has on the right wing. Pass up a 3, gives out to Ligori on the left wing, back to Binder. It's a star showdown between Maverick Binder and Marcus Glock for these two respective programs. Binder over to the right wing. Ligori crossover, loses dribble, taken away by Marcus Glock. And he will slow things down as he brings it across the timeline. Screen is set for him, and there's going to be a timeout by Wahoo to discuss this one with their boys. 30-second timeout to discuss this one. Officially 1 minute 42 on the clock. And Wahoo, I've been super impressed with their crowd today. They do a chant where, kind of like a Husker power chant at Memorial Stadium. They do something where I think they say Wahoo power, something along those lines, where the students say to the parents in their two respective sections. And they've really gave their team some energy, Mason. So again, 30-second timeout by Wahoo. They lead by 2 and have the ball. They're going to talk this one over about how to go about it. You've got to think, they are up right now by 2 points. They have the ball. There's no shot clock. You might as well just hold and see if Auburn's going to foul you. So let's see if that's what they do. Auburn in a tough position after leading for the majority of this ball game. Wahoo's just inched their way back in. So here we go. Inbound coming for the Warriors. Simons will do the job. Gives it over to Marcus Glock in the backcourt. He will bring it across the timeline. Everybody on their feet here at Pinnacle Bank Arena in overtime basketball. C1 title on the line. Ooh, and physical defense there by Ligori has a foul called on him. So that's going to send Marcus Glock to the free throw line. Not the guy you want to see there. The best shooter on this squad for the Warriors, senior leader. First one for Marcus Glock, the lefty, and he got it to go. 3-point lead for Wahoo. Second one. To have a 2-possession lead. It is up, and it is money. Full court press look now from Wahoo, trying to distract Auburn. And they're going to double team Binder the second he touches this basketball. He has it on the left wing, now top of the key, directing the offense. They need a bucket right now. He'll drive inside. Tough mid-range pull-up. Jay, no good. Rattles off. Rebound by Wahoo. Glock has it. They're going to try to trap him, not foul him immediately, and he's just going to take a timeout. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity for Auburn, and that's why the score is what it is. Both teams shooting relatively well from the field, around 40%. Again, you look at the stats, they're very, very similar in basically every single category. The only fact of the matter has been, as of recently, Auburn, 14 turnovers on the game. Wahoo with only 8. And really, a lot of times these games, Mason, they come down to who has the best player on the floor. And we believe that to be Marcus Glock, and really that's been true because he's made the biggest buckets around the stretch.
Yep, he's really impressed everyone tonight, Wilson. He's really doing everything efficiently. He's showing up and being an exceptional player today.
So officially 1 minute 14. Wahoo will inbound. They go over to Elliott. And they'll just slow things down with Marcus Glock there on the right wing. He has it now at center court, gives it over to Simons. They're trying to trap him, no defense. And back to Glock, and they just almost foul him. There's still not a foul call, and they give it over to Simons now. Looks like they're going to foul him immediately.
Yeah, they were just going to play hot potato there until they got fouled.
So with 51 seconds remaining in this ball game, it's going to send number 11, Dylan Simons, to the line for 2 free throws. First one on the way, and it is good as well. Wahoo shooting well from the free throw line around the stretch. These are big. Second one now for Dylan Simons, and he got it as well. 6-point lead for the Warriors here in overtime. Auburn, they need a bucket. Binder brings it across the floor, has it on the left wing. Trying to drive baseline, puts up a spin around 3, no good. Rebound Warriors. They get it to Marcus Glock, trying not to foul him. He brings it across the timeline. Now going to drive inside, contested layup, got it! Dagger by Marcus Glock. Auburn down by 8. They've got to chuck something up. They do just that. Long 3, no good. They get a second chance. Leslie back over to Binder, 3-pointer as well. That one falls. With 20 seconds left, Auburn with a big 3-pointer, which allows this game to keep on rolling. So they're going to quickly discuss this one. I want to make this point real quick. We will be back with the Class B state title game coming up at 1 p.m. I imagine it's going to start a little bit later due to this game going in overtime. And, of course, we have Class C2 and the big one, Class A, tonight. You're going to want to be here for that. Here we go. A little bit of thunderstruck going on here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Full timeout on the floor after Auburn hit a 3-pointer. I'd imagine they're just trying to think of ways to force this ball away from Wahoo with an inbound coming for the Warriors. So both teams retaking the floor. Wahoo to inbound under the opposing basket. They give it over to Marcus Glock. They try to trap him. He gets across the timeline, no problem. Now just throws it up to Elliott. They've got to foul Glock, who has it, and they will. And they're getting a standing ovation from the Wahoo fans in disbelief on the side of Auburn. So Marcus,
in my opinion, I think Wahoo has had the best crowd of the day so far.
I think so too. So Marcus Glock trying to put this game on ice. First free throw, all net. What else would you expect? 12 seconds remaining. Wahoo leads by 6. Second free throw now for Marcus Glock. Up and in. Auburn got to go quick here. Just throw something up. And there's going to be a quick timeout on the floor. Or just a couple check-ins, I suppose. So Auburn inbounds over to Binder. Binder across the timeline. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Long three-pointer contested. No good. Rebound the Warriors. And they're going to let them dribble this one out. Marcus Glock brings it across the timeline. The buzzer hits all zeros. He can't believe it. And Wahoo has completed the run. 3 straight upsets. The Warriors are champions once again in Class C1. One of the better games we've seen here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Celebration all around for the Wahoo faithful. And they're bringing home yet another state title to an illustrious program down south.
Both teams are really patient with the basketball all game long. Discussing that off-the-ball movement, both squads are really active with that. It was a defensive showdown until the end, and both offenses got interesting. But winning championships pretty much come down to who plays better on that side of the ball.
So, go ahead.
And something that I want to point out, too, is Wahoo really took advantage of the turnovers. They had 19 points off of turnovers, just something Auburn struggled with. They had by far too many turnovers in that game. And really, Wahoo, they shot better at the end, and they showed the mental toughness that championship teams are made of.
We talked about it a little bit in overtime, but it felt like whoever had the best player in this game would win the ball game. And, yep, Marcus Glock, he put himself in Nebraska Prep's history with this victory today in Wahoo. Getting ready to cut down the net here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. About as good of a game as we could have possibly got, and we're not done. 3 more that we're going to cover here on Millard South Media. We got Class B up next, starting in about 30 or so minutes. Then, of course, we have Class C2, and then the big one at 6:15, Class A. Bellevue West taking on Millard North, so we'll see you here on Millard South Media for that one. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Stimman alongside my partner Mason Steinhoff, Connor Rhodes producing for us, doing a great job as always, and we will see you for the next game.